Alright, let's get into it. Imagine you're in a high-stakes race, but there's a catch. You can see everyone, but nobody can see you. Where they are, what they're doing, where they're going, you can plan your moves, anticipate their turns, set yourself up for the win, all before they even know you're on the track. It's not about being invisible like a comic book, it's about being impossible to track. So how does the enemy try to find you? The primary tool is radar. It's a simple idea you can demo at home. Imagine shouting in a dark garage, sound waves bounce off parts, you map the room by the echoes. Radar does the same with radio waves. A transmitter shouts pulses, a receiver listens for the tiny echo that returns. When waves hit an airplane, energy scatters. A tiny fraction comes back as an echo. By timing that echo, radar measures distance and direction. Size and shape matter. A semi-truck makes a huge echo, a sleek car much less. That electronic size is called RCS. Radar cross-section. Stealth tries to shrink a 40-ton jet to a bird, or even a bumblebee on the screen. Make your echo look like background noise, and you are effectively invisible. When you first look at an F-35, it just looks different. Sharp angles, flat planes, sawtooth edges, not graceful curves. This shaping, faceting, is the first layer of stealth. Rather than a flat wall that throws echoes straight back, angled panels scatter energy away. Surfaces are aligned so radar energy is sent away from the enemy receiver. Leading edges, tail fins, intakes, all uniformly angled and parallel where it counts. Even seams, antennas, and bolts are smoothed or hidden. Each small reflector can ruin stealth. Weapons live in internal bays, opening only briefly to avoid extra radar returns. The canopy has a metallic coating to stop radar from bouncing off the helmet. Antennas are flush. The S-shaped intake ducts hide the engine face. Another major radar source is blocked. Waves are trapped and absorbed inside the duct, like a soundproof tunnel for radar. Shaping is one part, the skin is the second. That dull gray coating is RAM, radar-absorbent material. Think of it like acoustic foam but for radio waves. It soaks up energy and turns it into heat. Microscopic structures trap and scatter energy until it's dissipated. What remains to reflect is negligible. A faint blip at best. Multiple layers are tuned to different radar bands, a jack-of-all-trades system. The RAM is integrated into the composite skin in production, not a simple paint job. It's thicker where returns would be worst. Leading edges, intake lips. Gaps are filled with conductive gaskets and RAM putty to avoid re-radiation. Maintenance is meticulous. Stealth is high maintenance, but the payoff is huge. Keep the skin perfect and the jet stays a whisper on enemy screens. Radar isn't the only sensor. Heat is another way to give you away. Engines make huge heat signatures detectable by IR seekers. F-35 nozzles have chevrons that mix hot exhaust with cool air, dispersing heat. That produces a wider, cooler plume, harder to lock from far away. Cool bypass air is channeled to shroud and cool the hottest parts before exit. Result, a dramatically reduced infrared signature, especially from behind. Fuel lines run near hot areas. Fuel absorbs heat and keeps skin temperature low. Avionics and leading edges are cooled to reduce IR contrast against the cold sky. Every system is integrated to contribute to stealth. Thermal management is part of that symphony. Tame the beast within, and you are invisible to heat-seeking threats at long range. F-35 stealth isn't a single thing, it's a symphony of technologies. Like a championship car, chassis, aerodynamics, crew and driver must all excel. Shaping, RAM, cooled exhaust, internal weapons. Each addresses a different sensor. Shape deflects the flashlight, RAM absorbs stray light, cooled exhaust hides the hum. Mission planning plots routes to keep the aircraft oriented for minimal returns. The pilot actively manages their signature, an ongoing process, not a one-time setting. Its AESA radar can operate in LPI mode, searching without easily being detected. It shares stealthy sensor data with other forces while keeping its own cloak intact. The F-35 fuses sensors and becomes the eyes and ears of the battlefield. Stealth plus information. Operate stealthily, gather data, and let others strike from safer distances. The F-35 stands on the shoulders of giants, starting with the F-117 Nighthawk. First flown in the early 1980s, the F-117 proved a large aircraft could be nearly invisible to radar. Its flat panels scattered radar, a genius workaround before modern computing. In Desert Storm, Nighthawks penetrated Baghdad undetected and struck high-value targets. But it had limits. Faceting hurt aerodynamics, it was subsonic and specialized. Its stealth was tuned to older radar bands, new systems demanded new solutions. Advances in computing and materials let the F-35 blend stealth into a high-performance fighter. The next generation combined low observability with speed, agility, and versatility. Manufacturing techniques let stealth be baked into the airframe, not bolted on. The F-117 walked so the F-35 could run. To appreciate the F-35, compare it to the iconic F-16 Fighting Falcon. The F-16 is a legendary dogfighter, fast, agile, and cost-effective. It carries weapons and tanks externally, huge radar reflectors. A loaded F-16 can look like a barn door on radar. The F-35's RCS is rumored to be golf ball-sized. F-16 tactics focus on speed, altitude, and jamming to survive dense air defenses. The F-35 pilot calmly surveys the battlefield from invisibility. Sees first, engages from far away. Launch from miles out, be home before the enemy even registers a threat. That doesn't make the F-16 bad. It's brilliant for what it was built to do. But modern integrated air defenses make non-stealthy sorties increasingly dangerous. F-35S can operate where F-16S cannot. It's the difference between loud force and surgical invisibility. So why does all this matter? It gives pilots options they never had before. Stealth is offensive. It enables a new way of fighting. Penetrate deep, strike command centers, air defense radars, leadership, strategic knockout. It shares targeting data to make other assets far more effective and survivable. F-35S fly ahead, find threats, and pass cues so older jets can strike safely from distance. It creates doubt in an adversary, unsure if their radar is trustworthy. That uncertainty is a weapon. It can deter conflicts before they start. See first, shoot first, come home safely. The F-35 is the future of air power, a ghost in the machine that changes the rules of the sky.